Okay, so moving on, our next speaker is Dr. Musa Shaikh. He is advisor to His Excellency Sheikh Khalifa Al Hamid. He is Smart Governance Policy Advisor, a Group CEO of Berkeley Middle East Holding, President Berkeley ME Global Holding. Today, he will be talking about Smart Card for Effective Governance. So I would like to invite Dr. Musa Sheikh to please share his screen and share his thoughts about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much for the lovely introduction. And it's a fine morning in UK. I'm on a trip to our London office, and it's an off day, so it's quite convenient also to have a conversation. In terms of, let me start with, because you already introduced me, so Berkeley Middle East and Berkeley Global in California and London in UAE, in Saudi Arabia. So we are working on various ventures. One of them is the Smart Tech Solutions. And one of the product that is really getting popular from last couple of years, we are working for governments, and that's what I want to share today with you. Building the nation with technology and innovation is our topic. You already introduced me, so I'll skip it and move right on the product. So what is the concept of this product, one card, hold world? This is the concept. So when we see the traditional governance system, whether it's a provincial government, it's a national government, or it's a, it's a county or it's a council office, we always struggle with a couple of things. For example, and this is focusing on the developing nation, and it's already been deployed in certain governments in different components. So what we do is we always go for we have several cards in our pocket. So if you have, say, 10 bank accounts, you have 10 ATM cards, then you have a national ID card, then you are carrying a passport. And for different kind of things, you have different stuff, which is, I think, in 2020, it's a very it's not a good idea, and we need to apply innovation, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and use these concepts for the human ease. So we come out with this framework that we should combine all this in one card, so it will be easy for the mobility, and it's easy for different ways. Like, for example, we can make it so suppose if I am looking for my document verification in terms of my education, so I have to go to Ministry of Higher Education, and there is a separate portal. If there is a portal, some countries they don't have a portal. You have to queue yourself. It takes couple of weeks, and it can take up to months if there is some miscommunication between university and the regulator itself, and especially when the citizen or the residents are living out of the country. This is a major issue that generally everyone face. So we felt that there should be a portal, or there should be a dashboard, and there should be a card which is electronically accessible. And now we put certain other features in this card also, which is it can recognize your voice. It can have a face recognition and fingerprints recognition as well. So half of our life goes because of incompetencies of the governments and the departments. So when I need my health record, I have First of all, there is in most of the developing countries, there is no ministries maintaining the health record of the citizen. There are few countries which are doing that, where if you transfer from one province to another province, you can definitely look around that your health data transfer to the other one. But the countries which are coming in the developing categories, they don't have, their ministries are not effective, and they are not at all taking care of the health data of a particular person. And that's why the regulators worldwide are unable to track how many HIV patients are there, how many COVID-19 patients, how many infections they have. So there is no real data comes out, and all is going on estimation. So we thought it appropriate that we link it with the regulators and we give them a solution in a way that they start taking the data in terms of health. And this will be beneficial for multiple reasons, for global regulations, and for a citizen life will become easy because they have no such solution available in their country. Developing countries, because we feel that they're developing, and because the people and the decision makers are not much interested in good governance, and it causes them um, and a lot of issues like money laundering and all that stuff. So in order to prevent this, this card is very helpful. It's in this card we can link it with the tax status uh, of an individual, and what companies he or she belong has registered within the country, and banking transactions also we can pull up because it's all about national ID. So your police records, do you have a criminal record? So all this comes into, and of course it's a very huge macro level concept, which is you don't generally see in this. I mean, generally people have IDs separate, they have tax department separate, but until you are not integrated into one database, or you are pulling the data from different databases, but you are integrating them to get an integrated report, because integrated reporting is the latest thing that we all has to adopt according to the standards. So this really helps the countries, counties, governments in order to get their structures aligned, and they can deliver. Even this can be used for electric polling as well. Like if there are elections for a council, or it's for the whole province or a state, it has a recognition ability, and it can be used as an electronic vote. So it will be very cost effective, that you don't need to pull out any booths and deploy heavy equipments and people and waste the resources, national resources. This can be a very good tool, self-recognizing tool, in order to use it in an effective way. Most of the people uh, don't come in the tax net because of disintegration between separate databases. So after this integration, if we integrate the travel history with the tax history, so if you see that traveling is an expensive item, it's not that way that all people travel. So if someone is traveling frequently, sounds that there is a bit money that the person carries, other one the overseas who are settled somewhere. So it works on artificial intelligence tool in the back end, which will gives you hit and run um, algorithms that tells you that why, how, in the reasoning basis. So we give stimulus to the systems, and system come out with some automatic alerts, which is quite useful, and people really when we deploy this in certain places, we really see that the authorities was excited to have such kind of integrated reporting. Also, like if you are going in a public transport, always you go to a booth, you waste your time, you buy a metro card or you go here and there. So this card can be connected with the transport, and it's a Wi-Fi based, so it can pass the signals as well. It can have a barcode, which specialized barcodes, which can be useful, and all the banks can be integrated with this card. So if you have 10 ATMs, it's better to carry one card, which will make your life very safe and easy. um, all your land department, your property, your assets, which has been registered with different regulators, we can mix up into this card. The most important is your utilities. So if you're using um, the electricity and all that, gas, water, your all last couple of years records can be built in. So we can see that how many homes you are occupying, how many utility bills you have, how many mobile connections, because this is related to security matters also. In certain countries, they are not allowing you to have more than two SIMs. So if there is a leakage in the system from this card, we can overcome that a person is using authorized, unauthorized SIMs. And you can track the ability. For example, he's not paying one utility, but the other utility is properly being paid. So, and these are state utilities, so state will be very easily identifying these kind of stuff. Most important is because we do care for the women, and women in developing country life is terrible in a way that they cannot move freely out of their homes. When they go out of their homes, they have issues of harassments and exploitation. So we come up with some family solution which was embedded in this card, because this is a basic card to start with the verification process. So suppose a woman is looking for a divorce, she want to marry or she want to register a birth certificate, and traditionally she travels, she goes, she queue up with small babies, and it create a lot of problem and a lot of time for them. So we come up with some online um, integrated with this card about a marriage online marriage system, which can work on the video conferencing, where you can bring up your witnesses, and through this card you can do a verification, biometric, eye scan, and voice recognition. Three options are available, so you don't need to go and waste your resources and time and queue up yourself. World has already transformed after COVID-19 on work from home, and business has been totally revolutionized. So we need to. So it's a bit of awareness on our part. So our team generally give an awareness that look, this is 2020, and we cannot be in the old mentality of 1,000 years before, where a woman is struggling in the courts, coming sometimes judges of 2 months courts are on leave. So this kind of incompetency, especially when it comes to human rights, women rights, is totally not acceptable. So this card really brought up a blessing for the easiness of the women, and of course old ages. uh, we old ages is really important that we take care of them. So it has a lot of like if there is a pension, there is a provident fund, and such things we can integrate with this card. The most important is when it comes to we have say salary details when you go for a personal loan. So in some countries still there is no a bureau or a centralized department by central banks. So people try to ditch the lenders like financial institutions. So this card can also integrate your income if there is a particular ministry who is handling the data for the employees. And of course, it has to be upgraded in a way that all ministries will develop small, first they will adopt the framework and then they will deploy the technology. So you can see that we can sum up all the world in world's affairs into one simple card. It can be accessed through a portal where you have an authentic login, username, password with other OTP and all other secured layered options, and where you can access if you are moving from one place to another place, you can update based on admin approvals. So it will be giving a national. It serve as a national asset. I mean, because it's a framework followed by a deployment of technology, and it brings a lot of ease in the citizen or resident life, and it tracks a lot of things which for example like FATCA compliances, FATF compliances for money laundering, and other where countries comes into a gray list and then blacklist. So if they will adopt these kind of latest concept that we introduce in the market as a pioneers, I think that is great value for them. They can save themselves from a lot of unnecessary hassles, degrading in the eyes of the global privileges, and they can avoid trade sanctions also. So it tracks everything like in a way that it's blockchain based. So any changes by unauthorized changes will park in a packet and it can create some alert that there are some structural or databases changes, which is very good for the protection of this card and system and for the user as well, because it create a minimal invasion for the intruders and hackers, and it create a secure lane, and it's all cloud based. So with specialized cloud technologies with our partners, we can definitely integrate it with all that. So I think that this card requires some focus, and all the developing countries. Some developed countries do have these systems, but of course, not to that extent integrated. Always they go right and left and check. But developing countries is our focus because most of the poverty elevation and social welfare projects and the statistics coming from these countries, we need to focus on them. So this will be a starting point to know what, how many people they are, what are, how many sick, how many uneducated, and what is the income level, what is the gross domestic product (GDP) through national income. We can, because individual incomes can be combined as a national income. So this is how things will move in this system. So I think I was having a limited time, so I will do my closing remarks that if you are interested to know more about this product, our website is berkeleyme.com, and you are most welcome to visit and leave your comments, and we will definitely uh, sit with you, discuss with you, and explain you more about this product. So over to you, Doctor. Dr. Hafiz, can you hear me?
Thank you very much, Dr. Musa. It was a great presentation. And it seems a great concept where everything is consolidated at one place in this one card. I'm really interested to, utilize it in future. So I will open the floor to the audience. If they have any questions, please feel free to ask, or you can type in
Sure.
the chat window. So I have a quick question. So
Mhm.
is this card like when this card will be available in the market for commercial?
Doctor, as I mentioned, that this already being deployed in certain counties and councils in bit and pieces, and because how it works is the main client that you have is either it's a provincial government. I'm talking about the developing countries. So either it's a provincial government, if they are autonomous, they want their own database, or other way around, it's a state-owned system. So because most of the politician and all decision makers, they are scared from such a powerful system. So that's why the deployment level is quite low. But we have already deployed it. So it's a running product, and it is ready to install and serve. So what we do is we sit with a particular area representative. We sit with them. We explain. We shortlist. Like sometimes in a specific area, they don't have, say, Department of Justice. So in Department of Justice, they do have, but they don't have online any integration. It's all offline. So as a offline, now the assignment will come other way, that first we need to deploy a system to automate them, and then it will be integrated with this card. So there the scope of the work goes in expansion. So it takes a lot of time to bring it to the level where we can integrate it with this card. So this is a up and run deployed system, and it's available for sale.
Okay, perfect. It's really interesting. So there is a question from Sabi. Sabi, would you like to ask yourself? Okay, so he asked, this may put huge responsibility on cybersecurity. So what security measures have been added into this card?
Yeah, see, what we do is we don't take because it's a cloud based, so we don't take care of, we don't take on our shoulder our cloud partners that we are using. We as service providers, and we don't put ourselves, but of course, this is always when we go for a national level or provincial level or state level softwares and solutions. We always keep in align that our partners are well reputed and well capable to maintain privacy, secrecy, and we go through this process. We go through this process. We do due diligence and all that the partners are reliable. We do take their customer feedbacks. We do go for further checks and see that are they reliable in terms of solutions. Their solutions are accepted, and in terms of security, you know that there are audits available. There are independent observers. So there are a lot of things available that make sure that your third party vendor is reputed, reliable, and capable of this. And we are talking about very huge size companies who are very famous for these security matters.
Okay, perfect. That's really great. Thank you very much, Dr. Musa. We had
It was pleasure to have you. And Thank you very much for having me, and looking forward to see you in the future.
Sure, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.